Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at North Farmington High School for the third and final day of the holiday extravaganza. And I got a great guest right here, my guy, Executive Director of BCAM, Dan Young. How you doing, man?
Great.
You good?
Great.
So good to see you and have you here. What has these 3 days been like for you, coming over here, seeing the Goshen family put together this great holiday extravaganza?
It's always a good time to see teams from all over the state kind of get a pulse, talking to coaches before and after games.
That Coach's Corner is serious over there,
asking,
man.
Asking questions. What do you think about this or that? Or there's always good dialogue, but it's good to know on the ground level, kind of, the pulse of what coaches are thinking and that kind of thing. So it's really been really fun for me.
How important is it for you in your leadership role to get out here and quote unquote hear what the streets are talking and hear what they're saying and kind of be here and informally asking things? How important is that for you in your role and for the organization?
Oh, I think it's paramount to be here in Metro Detroit. I've made visits to Muskegon in the Grand Rapids area.
On the road, huh?
Yeah, and try to get up to Lansing. Going to get up to the Thumb next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like Bad X area and all that kind of stuff?
Emily City to see Emily City in a game next week. Our past president, Don Gothier, runs our summer program.
Okay.
Just trying to check in with board members, but also just check in with, maybe meet some coaches. I met the Rochester Adams coaches yesterday.
It's a new coach there.
New coaches that came from Bishop Foley. We had a really nice dialogue and, just talking about high school basketball and where it's at right now.
Right. Got to see you in October. A great BCAM event. As the kids say, no cap. I'm not just saying to say it was great. Hall of Fame Coach Tom Izzo stole the show in many ways, along with the other thing that was going on. Tell us where we are at with things post-BCAM event, because the season hadn't started. From what we were talking about then to how things have been progressing, just give us kind of a recap of where we're at right now.
We are, we're trying new things. Last year we started our BCAM Coach of the Week. So every week, and the Pistons put their logo on it.
Really?
Yeah, as support of just, coaches that are maybe behind the scenes. Could be an assistant coach or a coach that's just been.
It's not always the first chair.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, really cool thing. We started that last year. Matt Windle is our president-elect and social media director, and that's a new position that we're trying to do a better job of having not only our newsletter and email chain, to have our social media presence out there, and with the help of yourself and others at our events, it really has helped us kind of help get new members, but also kind of share what we're all about.
Was it a struggle to get there, adding the social media element?
I tell you what, during COVID, we got hit pretty hard with through social media for whatever it's worth.
Sure.
Meaning like the governor would get on and make an announcement on a Friday at 10 a.m. that we're not going to start the season for another 3 weeks to a month. Well, we didn't know about that. The MHSAA maybe have gotten a short window of knowing that. And we felt like we weren't prepared to get messaging out, not only to members, but to the general public or members through social media. So since COVID, we have really tried to do a better job of having multi-formats or platforms to get information out. So, and one of the new things we're starting this year is we're doing rankings.
Really?
We've never done it before.
Was it a struggle for that? Because I'm sure people went back and forth on that.
Yeah, it's something where we've Matt Windle has partnered with Goose Poop and also
Goose Poop, okay.
Yeah, and NPR, and we're putting it out there. And so we had 50 new members since we started rankings 10 days ago.
What's the formula? What's the process of determining who gets what? How does that work?
So this Goose Poop is a data-driven.
So it's going to take in all the information.
Yep, strength of schedule, game, who you're playing.
So it does analytics on it.
Analytics plus NPR. So
Is there any coach input? Is there any input from members?
The only coach input would be to reach out to your regional director and say, hey, you might want to look at so-and-so. They're coming up. And then see how that goes as far as. But that's new. And we started a podcast.
Yeah, I love the podcast.
And we're just, we're trying new things. And trying to adapt and evolve and move forward. And so those are some of the new things we're trying. We also are still working on trying to seed the tournament. We've been in really good dialogue with the MHSAA, and it's starting to gain not anything that would be this year,
Sure.
but in the future we could see that. Obviously, we have shot clock events.
Right. And you talked about that seating being Lower Peninsula, but separate for the Upper Peninsula because of the travel challenges.
It's all one state, but that can be hard.
Yeah,
because you could have people traveling, but we're seeing that they're traveling in other sports as well. So those are some of the things that we're working on. And then the shot clock events. The ADs have not voted. They do not want the shot clock.
Yeah, it goes both ways. The ADs don't want it, but the coaches do in the survey.
Yeah, we had 21 coaches surveyed, and 75% were for it.
How many coaches again?
2,100 responded to the survey. But obviously, you've got to get clocks in every gym.
Financial incentive to come.
You've got to get people at the tables. We think the flow is better. Other states are adopting it. I think eventually it will probably happen in long term.
Sure.
So we want to continue to do these events. We take data. We do a lot of dialogue with coaches and look at surveys after the fact. And so we'll just keep plugging away. When you get a survey that's high, that's that for something, we've got to continue to explore that, right? And so that's another thing we've been kind of plugging away with.
Well, that's awesome, man, the proactive nature of what you guys are doing. Let's say we are here now, getting ready to go into January. What does this mean for you as it relates to the season as a former coach, like getting ready to go into that new year? What does that mean for you, former coach, as well as being in this executive director position, as far as are we starting at the top of the hill and kind of working our way down now?
Yeah, I think in just talking to coaches and coached for a long time, is that preseason, winter break, January kind of really gets started.
Yeah,
it's kind of when the season really starts to get rolling. You get into league play. You've had some great non-conference games, but now you're trying to get ready for league play and make that run into late February, and then mid to late February, then we're knocking on the door for the tournament time. So I think the season to me is just going to start getting rolling next week. But don't think any coach out there or player, don't think that in February 10th into the mid-February to the last week of February, you can't get better into March.
Even still.
You just keep getting in there, keep getting in the gym, keep getting better. Roles will be more defined, taking care of your body, and then teams just kind of, when we talk about rankings are one thing. It's something to talk about, but it doesn't mean anything at the end of the year when you throw it up. So that's the best time of the year, the best time of the year. So
it's interesting that window you did, that February 10th. When we first started the season, I went over and saw Rick Palmer at Brother Rice. They're going to be here later on. And I overheard him talking to his team about coming in when it's dark, leaving when it's dark, and how it can kind of get into that malaise and saying, just remember this time, because that can also be the time where it's just like you're not necessarily at the end, but you're so far in with the injuries and all that. So it's funny you say that. Well, you say you'll be getting on the road, getting ready to get into the holiday, and how fun is this for you?
It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
For me to be here and see all these teams from all over the state, it's just a joy. I just look so forward to being with you and the coaches at North Farmington that put on this great event. And I went over to Ferndale and saw some of the Round Ball Classic games.
Shout out to TJ Kelly putting that together.
Just trying to do that and just trying to get out there and meet people and see games and just keep spreading the good word.
Yeah, you're doing that. So before we wrap up, here's one thing I've experienced is being over here these last few days. It's easy to take basketball for granted because we're in it right now. But, man, like you said, the end of the season, when it's over, we're done. And it's like, so take it all in as much as you can, because it's easy to think, oh, this is my life every day, all the time. But that's not the case. But I know you're working hard all the time.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Appreciate everything you do for us.
Absolutely.
And keep up the good work.
I will. Any last special shout-outs, anything you want to give?
No, just if you're not a member of BCAM, bcam.org, remember our deadline for being a member is February 15th, and that can sneak up on you So you're talking all the end of the season awards, Coach of the Year awards, player awards, all that kind of stuff. You'll need to be a member before the 15th of February. So proud to be your director. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Doing a job well done. A job well done that is. And don't just talk about it, be about it. Become a member. Hey, I love the support. And with that being said, Lindsay Hudson with SPS. We'll see you next time.